Hello, loveys. Happy Monday, May 19th, 2025. How the hell? Oh, am I on? Yep, she's on. I think I'm on. Are we here? Happy holidays. Anybody? No? Oh, shit. Did I start this? I don't know. Oh, hello. Hi, Lindsay. Good evening, Peppermint Patty. Okay, babe. Sorry, just came from guess where? Vinny's house. Okay, I was at Vinny Politan's house on Court TV, and I don't do well. Okay, I'm going to say it till the cows come home. She's not the best. All right. There are people that are wonderful on cable network television shows. I am not one of them. Okay. I start seeing stars. I feel uncomfortable. I'm wearing a weird shirt and I don't know what to do with my hands. Happens. But I'm going to tell you this. Vinny hit me with this on the way out the door. He said, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split your Kimmy. Oh. Do you hear me? Oh. Cheating on you. Valerie, never. Can everyone hear me? Am I here? Are you here? Are we here? Oh, well, I'm going to hit you with this. My Christy D says, I'm sure you do fine. Do I? No one knows. Okay, watch this. He said it on the way out. I'm never going to let it go. Can't. Hashtag can't stop, won't stop. On your mark, get set. 3, 2, 1.
Speakers tossing them aside. I think that what it comes down to is they don't view this as a whodunit. They have a clear indication what they believed happened, and they're going with the science that they simply don't have strong enough evidence that would warrant getting DNA from all these different individuals.
I think you hit the nail on the head, John. And now the question for the jury is, are they going to believe that this prosecution and these investigators, had tunnel vision all along, or had an open-eyed investigation? And we've seen, yeah. I've seen it fall both ways at the end of the case. So we shall see here. Thank you so much, John DePietro, Nurse Kim Whalen, Nurse Kim on TikTok and YouTube. Check out her great content, and Road Patrol Live as well. Thank you both so much. Still to come, what does the DNA found on John?
Oh, I'm sorry. You know who he didn't say great content about? John. He said, go check out John's channel and the great content of Kim. Oh. Can't tell me shit right now, guys. On the top of the world. Thank you, Vinny. Loved it. Can't get enough of that, Vinny. I look into his blue eyes and I think to myself, how you doing? How you doing? What are we doing? Nothing. Okay, I invited you on this show, ma'am. Act normal. Can't. All right. But today was a day of epic proportion. All right. I didn't know that when we started this day talking about DNA and mitochondrial DNA, that we were going to have a moment that shook me to my core, loveys. I didn't know that I could feel those things from Mr. Robert Alessi. He took us to church. Tiny Jesus, tiny Mary were present. Okay? And that's what I really care about. Because what the anti-KarenRead collective, those 12 assholes that still remain on Twitter just trying to, I don't know, start a weird band, okay? Tuba practice, all brass instruments. That's what I'm going to say, if that makes sense. No one is strings. It's all brass. And a lot of cowbell. And they're going to say, oh, who cares? It didn't, the CV, the resume of Shannon Burgess doesn't matter because what was presented to the court was accurate. Well, I want to tell you something. Okay? It wasn't just Shannon's resume, babes, that got me particularly amped up internally. That particularly was doing things in my gears that I wasn't aware was possible on a public trial. Okay. Felt like it should have been a pay-per-view. What they did today, the defense single-handedly destroyed the credibility of Aperture. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. It wasn't just Shannon and his resume, because like, okay, yeah, what else? Like, ew, that's weird. What are you doing? But the fact that you not only put lies, false, misleading, want to talk about your own words. Let's use your words against you, Mr. Shannon. You misled the public, and potentially you misled Hank Brennan when he retained you, because he was thinking he was getting a bachelor's in science or accounting and, I don't even know, like frog legs. I don't know what was happening, mathematics and frog legs. But they put it on their website. Okay? So not only did they put misleading misinformation of the qualifications of their employees on a public website, but then when it was discovered within the last 72 hours, loveys, they concealed it. This is big. So I'm going to tell you what that is in a bow. Okay, let's wrap it up tightly. We are working right now at Sears and Roebuck's, and it is December 23rd. Your father got none of the Christmas presents wrapped. He is going there last minute. A lady named Janet is wrapping all of your Christmas presents into this bow. That is fraud. Fraud. Not a Freudian slip, not a slip of the tongue, not a how do you do. It is fraud. And by 100% checking Shannon today, Robert Alessi has checked Aperture off of the Commonwealth's entire case. I firmly believe that the jury will not take the information from Judson B. Welcher, who is their actual biomechanical engineer, as Bible or as something that they can take, because they're going to say there are credibility issues. Okay? This was Robert Alessi. This was a finish him moment. This was the Mortal Kombat. Okay? Wobbling like this. Ooh, finish him. And he did. So are you ready to clutch your pearls, loveys, clench your butts so tight, because we're going to watch this maestro in action. In the name of the Father and of the Son and of Robert Alessi. Amen. Let's go. Ooh, I'm so excited to watch it again. I am a fan. Yes, Lovey. Hi, Miss Jess. Oh, don't miss it. Don't miss it.
Forensics often in your analysis?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I
And
do.
would you agree that generally the accepted definition of forensics is something that relates to, that's used in, and is suitable for a court of law?
Yes, I would.
And so when you're working in forensics, even in your office, you understand that eventually it's very likely that whatever work you're working on is going to end up or could end up in a court of law, correct?
Correct.
And you mentioned in your direct examination the scientific method, right?
Correct.
And I was pleased to hear mention of the scientific method. And I just want to cover some principles with regard to the scientific method. But before I do, I just want to see how forensics envelopes in certain items. So forensics applies scientific methods and principles to legal matters, particularly in criminal investigations, right?
Correct.
It's a fair statement.
Yes.
Thank you. And forensics are used to help lawyers in their preparation, correct?
Yes, that'd be correct.
And it's used to help judges in courts of law.
Yes, that is correct.
And it's also used to help juries and jurors to understand the results of scientific tests, correct?
Correct.
So you know, and you have to presume that as you are performing your analysis, as I stated earlier, that this information is going to end up in a court of law.
Correct.
And then does that heighten sort of the analysis that you need to do and the sharpness and the accuracy, given that it's going to end up in that form?
Yeah,
It can, depending on context.
And is the primary goal of forensic science to uncover the truth and to provide objective evidence that can be presented in a court?
Yes, it is.
Would you generally agree that the work of forensic science, including the work that you do, is intended to be used in court because scientific evidence can be very powerful, and therefore the forensic science must be accurate?
Correct.
It must be methodical.
Correct.
There must be a method, right?
Right.
Guys, I do also want to say that nothing brings me joy more than accents and voices that are not my own. Okay. If I hear myself speak to you, I want to, I'm unwell. Okay. It is not a positive experience. I have a very uncomfortable reaction to my own voice, but a Southern accent, didn't expect it. Didn't see that one coming. A sassy Southern accent. Facial hair like that. Oh, I thought we were going to be in for, maybe a yeehaw. Maybe a ride 'em, cowboy. I didn't know what was coming. You know what I'm saying?
It must be detailed.
Yes,
And above all, it must be unbiased and truthful, correct?
that is correct.
And all of this, is it fair to say, distills down to reliability?
Correct.
And reliability is a desired characteristic of the forensic scientist.
Yes.
You want people to be able to rely upon your work.
Yes.
And credibility and honesty is part of reliability, and it's a fundamental component of that, correct?
Yes,
Of course.
You've stated that you hold your opinions to a reasonable degree of scientific certainty. You said that several times on direct, correct?
Correct.
And because the discipline of forensics involves the application of the scientific method, as you stated on direct, you therefore, of course, apply the scientific method throughout your analysis, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Would you agree with the following statement of the scientific method? And tell me whether, well, let me start with, you understand, you know, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST?
Yes, I am familiar. Yeah.
And would you agree with a definition of the scientific method as the systematic pursuit of knowledge involving the recognition and definition of a problem, the collection of data through observation and experimentation, analysis of the data, the formulation, evaluation, and testing of hypotheses, and where possible, the selection of a final hypothesis? I know there's a lot there, and if you'd like me to break any of it down, you let me know.
No, I find that generally acceptable. Yeah.
And I wanted to emphasize the end, the evaluation and testing of hypotheses, and where
Can you imagine Babes saying to Robert Alessi, yeah, I find that generally acceptable. Oh my. He was so thirsty. And you know what? Listen, I'm going to tell you guys something. You know how I am. You know how I don't like anyone to be uncomfortable. And you know that if it wasn't for the fact that Trooper Paul last year was dealing with such a heavy, serious subject matter as Officer John O'Keefe's life, I would have felt very bad for him. And I almost got to the place with Mr. Burgess as well that I'm like, oh my gosh, my heart is almost breaking because you can see like the air go out of somebody. But at the end of the day, there are standards, there are ethics, there are things that like I can't walk around and be like, hi, I'm a registered nurse. And then you guys were like, no, you dumb bitch, you're not. All right. And that's just a little thing, right? Like, if you're going to be an expert and your company is going to be an expert for the government, for any trial, in any case, in any state in the United States of America, you have to adhere to ethics, to standards. And when you show that there is give and that there is wiggle room there based on a first meeting and based on your presentation then I don't give a fuck what you have said. I can't trust you, in my opinion.
Very possible the selection of a final hypothesis. You understand what I'm meaning by hypotheses?
Yes, I do.
The scientific method is used, among other reasons, is it not, to avoid certain biases in the science process, correct?
Yes, yes,
Right.
correct.
So the method is trying to prevent a scientist, not cultural bias, but scientific bias, correct?
Y'all.
Do you know what the American Academy of Forensic Scientists refer to as cognitive biases in science, generally?
No, I do not.
Have you heard of the term confirmation bias?
Yes, I have heard of that term.
Mr. Alessi is the loudest person at a podium I have ever heard in my entire life. My ears, babes, I had my earphones. I don't have earbuds. I just have like earphones. And I was like, and I thought it was myself. I was like, am I rustling something? No, babe. It's Mr. Alessi. And a man rustling papers with a pedigree such as him, oh, I bid you adieu.
Have you heard of the term anchor bias in the scientific method?
I have not heard that term.
Let's start with confirmation bias. Is a fair definition, and you said you're generally familiar with that, right?
Yes, correct.
So let's start with that. That's the practice of sort of selectively gathering and interpreting evidence to confirm the scientist's belief or a belief of another, and at the same time neglecting evidence that contradicts them. Is that a fair definition of confirmation bias?
Yes.
And an example of confirmation bias is not considering alternative hypotheses.
My lovey Shannon says, at first I really thought he was unaware of his company, that they had done it. But then I realized he was full of BS. And I kind of feel the same way, Shannon, because late woman Shannon, not man Shannon, because what had happened when I was watching this is that if I had not known, and I'm just saying, like, right, and everybody deals with stuff differently, loveys, right? But if I had recognized that something had been done out of my knowledge base, I would have reacted differently. Okay. And I would have taken responsibility and accepted what was my part in that. You know what I mean? And the fact that he didn't, and he was like, yeah, he skirted around it so much that he wasn't even able to say that things were wrong and misrepresented when they were. And that's when my ability to have like a bandwidth of empathy there, I was like, oh, you did know.
Once an initial hypothesis has been selected, even though the data and other information might contradict the initial hypothesis. Fair statement?
Yes, that's a fair statement.
And confirmation bias, although sometimes it occurs, is intellectually and analytically antithetical to it's opposing of the scientific method, correct?
Correct, yes.
And it's to be avoided.
Right.
Anchor bias is, and I know you said you didn't recall it, but let me see if this triggers a recollection. If not, fair enough.
Okay.
Anchor bias is when you prioritize information and data that support your initial impression of the evidence, even where the impressions are incorrect, or it's unknown whether the impression is incorrect. You sort of anchor into that. Does that sound like a reasonable definition of anchor bias?
Yes, that sounds reasonable.
So biases are to be avoided in the application of scientific matters and methods because they can lead to incorrect conclusions in science, right?
Right.
And even though they're to be avoided, you called this case a homicide, even before you began your alleged scientific testing.
Oh, I'm sorry, man, Shannon. What are you doing? Why are you calling this a homicide when you know damn right well? Read a report. You're reading Ian Whiffin's report. You got a whiff of Whiffins. You played some hide and seek with Hyde. All right. I know you were picking up what everyone was putting down. You saw it all. I'm sure there was a Dropbox with man Shannon's name on it. And you wrote homicide, you little devil.
Isn't that correct?
I don't recall. Where would I have called it a homicide?
Do you recall your January 30th, 2025 report that you prepared in this case?
Yes, I do.
I
Do you
do.
have it with you?
I do.
Can you turn to page 4, footnote 3, please?
Yes.
I'm sorry. It is page.
Babes, he had to BYOK which is bring your own Kleenex to the stand. Just notice that. Okay, put that right in our little pockets. Keep it in there for later.
4 footnote 3. And in page 4, footnote 3, it states, I'm sorry, sir, are you there?
Yes, I am sorry.
It says evidence review by the defense counsel Ray O'Keefe, MV homicide. Did I read that correctly?
Yes, you did.
Now, you assumed in the very beginning that Miss Reed had hit Mr. O'Keefe with her car before you began the scientific testing that you had discussed in your direct.
No, that would be incorrect.
But you did list homicide down in footnote 3, correct?
Yes, I did.
And so this report's drafted January 30th, 2025, correct?
Correct.
And the testing, I'll just give you a snapshot. Some of the testing you discussed with Mr. Brennan, that testing didn't occur until after this trial started, correct? Some of the testing you described in direct?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay, so that testing didn't even occur in the trial. Just assume the trial started at April 22nd. So the testing you described when you were talking about aligning clocks and GPS, that occurred after April 22nd, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Now let's go on to another topic. Let's talk about professional credentials. You know what I mean by the term credentials?
Yes, I do.
Professional.
And this was the moment, everyone, where man Shannon Burgess thought to himself, I have fucketh aroundeth, and I believe I shall find outeth.
Credentials are important in any profession, correct?
Correct.
And they're important in your forensic examiner profession as well.
Correct.
Your forensic scientists and examiners are no different than any other professional that credentials are important. And your profession requires you to provide curriculum vitae, laying out your education, training, and background, correct?
Correct.
And it's imperative, is it not, that the information that is disseminated about your professional credentials are absolutely truthful, right?
Yes, they should be.
Oh, they should be. Oh, they should be. I do want to tell you this, loveys, okay? I need to talk some shit. Hold, please. Sorry, we're getting into it. But, okay. 3 days ago, was it 3 days ago? Am I lying? 2 days ago. Between 2 and 3 days ago, I get text messages from who? I don't know if I can say it because she's not here, but I got text messages from my lover Romy with cheese, okay? And she goes, hey, bitch, something's up with like dates here and education. And I was like, I look at it and I'm thinking to myself, okay, but there is no way, right? Babes, in my head, there is no way, none, that the Commonwealth of Massachusetts would put a motherfucker on the stand and allow the assassination of an LLC corporation. Like, it's impossible. I go, somehow something got sprinkled along the way. And, stuff on Twitter is twitting, okay? The tweets were twatting, all right? I had no idea. Up was down, down was up. And I'm seeing it. I'm seeing little whispers. But I'm not saying shit because I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Don't tell me that. I don't want to know it. And when Mr. Alessi got into this specific line of questioning, I almost went outside, found a basketball court, dribbled, and shot from half court, okay? Because I would have won. I don't even know what I would have won, but I would have won us something, okay? We are going to Turks and Caicos after this because the amount of endorphins that naturally just fell out of my body. It was almost like I ran the Boston Marathon. I did not. I'll tell you that. Didn't do it. But I was charged. I was ready to run through a fucking wall like the Kool-Aid man as soon as I started hearing this. Sorry. Continue.
You say they should be. Let's continue on with that topic. You understand what's meant by the term ethics, right? Generally?
Yes. Yes.
And simple ethics mandate that one is truthful about their professional credentials, correct?
Correct.
And a fundamental credential is what type of college degree you hold, correct?
Correct.
People rely on those credentials, and the credentials are the foundation of your expert opinions and analyses, correct?
They can be. Yes.
They can be, and they often are, correct?
Yes, they can be depending on context.
But more often than not, they're important.
Yes, again, depending on context.
You know that not only your colleagues, but your clients, firm clients, courts, and juries will rely on your CV and your credentials in order to make determinations about whether you're qualified to testify and your depth of your qualifications, correct?
Correct.
You provided the Commonwealth, the defense, and the court with your CV in this case, correct?
Correct.
If I can have a moment, Your Honor, I will.
Get your lip
get
gloss
my first
popping,
exhibits.
ladies.
May I approach you?
Yes.
Oh, take a sip of that Poland Springs. What it means to be from Maine, honey.
Your Honor, if I could have this marked as the next exhibit
For identification?
for identification at this point.
Okay.
Oh, and Judge Canoni is like, what is this? Right? She is looking at Mr. Alessi, who she respects. She can't even help it. Okay. Her up in her little Polly Pocket house, right up there. She's got a tiny milk crate sitting right next to that large black chair. And she is thinking to herself, uh-oh, what's about to happen? You didn't even know, Beverly.
Well, actually, I'm going to have it, we're going to be eventually offering it into evidence, so.
Okay.
They have presented to the
So
witness.
let's mark it for identification first.
Yep, okay.
Exhibit TT for identification.
By the end of this man, Shannon's, his
CV and your credentials in order to make
glasses were fogged.
determinations about whether you're qualified to testify and your depth of your qualifications, correct?
Correct.
You provided the Commonwealth, the defense, and the court with your CV.
Oh, just kidding. Meant to go that way. Oh, they're still doing it. Still doing it. It takes a minute for Madam Court Reporter, who is not our OG, but we still love her. Take your time, Lovey.
Yeah, I handed it to the witness, Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to actually have it marked for identification first,
Okay.
and we'll go from there.
Take UU for ID.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Burgess, it's been marked, the document is exhibit UU for identification. Could you please tell me if you recognize that?
Yes, I do recognize that.
And sir, please describe briefly what that is.
Sure. So it is a CV as well.
I would offer it into evidence at this time, Your Honor.
Mr. Brennan, any objection?
No, thank you.
Exhibit 184.
Look at Mr. Alessi's face,
Represent
Lovey.
Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, man, Shannon. Oh.
Mr. Burgess, once you've had a fair opportunity to look at that, I have a question, and that question is simple. Is that your April 2025 CV?
Let me see. Yes, it appears to be.
Thank you. And when you've had a fair opportunity to look at it, when you can just pick your head up, sir, to let me know you're ready. I don't want to rush you, but then I have some questions.
Absolutely.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
So in those two exhibits, your two CVs in front of you, am I correct that the first one is November 2024 and the second one is April 2025?
Let me see. Yes, that appears to be correct.
And in both of those CVs, you indicate that you have not yet earned a bachelor's degree.
Oh.
That is correct.
And you certainly have not earned a bachelor's science degree in any educational field, according to those two CVs, right?
Make it
Correct.
stop.
And in fact, as you sit here today, you do not possess any bachelor's degree.
Correct.
And the reason, as you state, is because that bachelor's degree is currently pending. That's the term you use.
So I use currently pursuing.
Currently pursuing, yes. So
Oh.
you have a public profile that's published on Aperture's website, correct?
Yes, I do.
And it's in the form of a biography page.
Yes, I believe so.
And that biography page has your education listed.
Very possible. Yes.
Babe, you don't know what your company website has? They got a full-blown, like, you know, what is this called? Not a mug shot. What is it called when you get your pictures done? Oh my God, Kim. Headshot of you, right? They have a headshot of you. You took the picture for your job. They put your face on their website. Babe, we gotta use a little bit of a different. We gotta weave a little better here. You're not tucking and rolling. as they say. Stop, drop, and roll.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh. There you go, Blitzen.
Please, once Mr. Brennan reviews it. Your Honor, may I have this marked as next identification in order?
Okay.
Thank you.
Exhibit BB for ID.
May I hand
Babes, it is the anticipation of the marking of evidence. I don't know what is happening to me, okay? I'm giddy. I am uncomfortable. It is like I am in church. I'm supposed to be quiet. I can't stop. I can't stop looking. I'm giggling with Jimmy in the back. And my mother has looked at me 3 times and she says, if you don't cut the, like, she just gave me the look. And I know damn right well that I cannot giggle about this, but I'm like feeling, it's happening all over again. And Chrissy says to us, my butt was clenched so tight today during Alessi's dismantling of Shannon. My ears tucked a little. Oh, I know, babe. Babe, my ears grew. Okay. I had things growing. You were tucking, I'm growing.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Burgess, giving you Exhibit DB for identification.
Okay.
You recognize that document?
Yes, I do.
And
Yes, I do.
indeed, that is the bio page that's published on Aperture's website, correct?
That is what it appears to be, yes.
Now, I would like you, sir, to turn to page 2 of that document.
Okay.
And I'd like to turn your focus
Hi, Lovey.
to the bottom of education.
Thank you for becoming a new
This
member,
states, am I correct, sir?
Amy.
BS, Mathematics, and Business Administration. Is that correct?
It does state that, yes.
And there is no qualification that's currently pending. It states BS in Mathematics and Business Administration, correct?
That's what it states there, yes.
And you do not have a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics and Business Administration, do you?
No, I do not.
Quick question. A bachelor in science wouldn't be of mathematics or business administration either. Healthcare, you know, you could have one in nursing. You can have a bachelor of science in many of things, but mathematics I didn't think was a bachelor in science.
And if you click on the hyperlink for your CV on that same website, do you know where that hyperlink takes you?
No, I do not.
To any member of the public reading this, including prosecutor, a defense attorney, a judge, or a jury, that represents that you received your Bachelor of Science in Mathematics and Business Administration, does it not? Objection.
That's the same.
Now, if you
Oh.
continue on,
I take that back. I apologize. Aisha has a BS in business administration. I love to hear that. I will retract. I apologize to the bachelors of sciences.
to your photograph, are you familiar with Aperture's website that speaks about you and presents?
Are you?
Vaguely, yes.
You're so full of shit, man, Shannon. You told your mother everyone goes there on Tuesdays. You know, all of his aunties sit around the table. Some of them rip butts, okay? They're 87 years old. They eat crawfish, and they go to the website of Aperture, and they look at him. They look at him, and they go, that's our baby. And I love that. I would do the same thing. Shut your mouth. You told everyone. All of your cousins are proud of you, because you are the one who works for Aperture.
Are you aware that Aperture has 2 hyperlinks, one that says CV and one says LinkedIn? Are you aware of that?
Yes, I am now.
And LinkedIn is a professional networking platform designed for career and business professionals to connect, share content, find jobs, etc. Is that a fair description of LinkedIn?
Yes, it is.
And could we also conclude that it's a professional networking platform, especially for private sector firms like Aperture,
Oh,
that's used to attract clients or potential clients?
Yes, correct.
And potential clients include,
red flags.
for example, the Commonwealth of the state of Massachusetts,
Oh,
Correct.
And indeed, the Commonwealth is no longer, if you will, an attracted client, but it's an actual client of Aperture and you, correct?
Correct.
I can't handle this.
And that's the status of the relationship here. Aperture is a client of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts in this case, right?
Correct.
So is it fair to say that your CV, especially when it's published on a LinkedIn or published on a website, is something that is published to intend to have, especially if you're in the private sector, have clients view and retain your services? That's a hope and an expectation, correct?
Yes, that is part of it.
Yes, because you're enticing clientele. You enticed the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. You lured them in as a catfish. Man, Shannon, you catfished the Commonwealth. Call Neve.
Now, when you look at that document, when you click on, if you were to be in your office, and let's see if you're familiar with this, you click on your LinkedIn on Aperture's page, that would ordinarily take you directly to your professional LinkedIn account, correct? Isn't that what the links are there for?
Yes, I would expect so.
Are you notified when someone electronically accesses your LinkedIn account?
Not accesses, no. Are you referring to viewing?
Yes, that's a better
sorry,
verb,
yeah.
viewing. Yes.
Yes.
So you're notified. Were you notified within the last 72 hours that someone from the defense accessed your publicly available or viewed your publicly available LinkedIn account?
No, I was not aware.
Stop it.
Are you aware that within the last 72 hours, that hyperlink on Aperture's official website was disabled?
No, I was not aware.
Are you
Stop
aware
it.
that now if you try to go on that link that you can't, that it's disabled?
No, I'm not aware of that.
Do you know whether anyone from Aperture directed someone within Aperture to disable your LinkedIn account within the last 72 hours?
No.
Aperture is disabled. Okay? It's a code red. Aperture is disabled, loveys. They've disabled themselves. Okay? So that they could conceal the fuckery. When I tell you that I did not think that the onions had more layers to peel, bitch, I'm still peeling. Keep peeling, peeling, peeling. And what did my brain do? At this very moment, loveys, I went to... full-on legal Lady Wood. I don't know how to describe it otherwise. Legal Lady Wood, LLW. They have an LLC. I have an LLW. Let's go. Woohoo!
No, I'm not.
Sorry.
Have you spoken
Sorry
to
for
anybody at Aperture about your LinkedIn account?
No, I have not.
No one can help you, man, Shannon. Don't look at him. Look at me. Don't look at him.
You're not letting move meeting into evidence at this conference?
Okay, any objection?
I can see it. This one. Yep. This one. No objection.
Is it 185?
Send something else up to be identified. I'm about to lose it.
And we are done with those. So if I could ask those back for you.
Absolutely.
You're not going to have to please the next one, Mark, for identification at this point.
Yes. Thank you.
How is no one else out of their tits at this moment? I couldn't have been in the courtroom. Nope. I would have been acting a fool. I would have had to remove
Mr. Burgess, I
myself.
presented to you
Remove
what is marked as
me.
Exhibit WW for identification. I'd ask that you take a look at it, take a fair amount of time, and then if you could, sir, pick your head up so I could see that you're ready.
Sure.
Full-blown cat, tits up.
Okay.
You recognize that document, sir?
Yes, it appears to be a screenshot of my LinkedIn account.
Your Honor, I offered.
No remorse? No words do at least an act of contrition here. It appears to be what I have presented and misrepresented myself as fake news. What I am is a fraudulent fool. What I did was told everyone that I had a bachelor's, but really I got my GED. Okay? And after that, like, and also sidebar, don't fuck with people's educations, because I've known LPNs that can run circles around RNs. That doesn't matter at all to me personally, loveys. And especially if you have years of experience and some people are born to do shit, right? And like it's in them. Other people, it is not. Okay. It is 100% not within them. I don't mean it to be like education bias in any way, shape, or form, because fuck that noise. All right. But at the end of the day, don't lie. Because if you're a liar, your karma is coming for you. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, ooh, ooh.
That into evidence.
Are you not feeling your feelings? I'm feeling feelings. You're red. I'm flush.
Can I see you at sidebar with these?
Oh, can I see you at sidebar? And this is when Judge Cannoni thought, let me see if I could talk him off the ledge. Let me see if I could smooth this over and not have to put this in front of the jury. Bang, bang, went the trolley. A ding, ding, ding went the bell. Bev, you got to put it in front of the jury, babe, because you didn't have a voir dire. And you know what? Mr. Robert Alessi, he tried to save your ass. You know what he said? He said, let's not make the Commonwealth look worse than they have to. And Judge Cannoni said, no, Scott. I believe the Commonwealth because I still breastfeed, Adam Lally on Thursdays. Well, this is what the fuck happens. Maybe what you could have done, Beverly, Judge Cannoni, pardon me, that's rude. I show some respect, Kim. Judge Cannoni, what you could have done was the right fucking thing. And right now you are reeling it in and you're going to try to schmooze and get all that Bev charm, okay? You flipped your hair, I bet. She got on her tippy toes. She's 5'11 and a half. I'm 4'11 and a half. Who am I shitting? 4'11 and a half. And she was trying to get to that 5-foot mark just to say to Mr. Alessi, hello, Bobby. Hello, Bobby. And he was like, not today. Yesterday, we could have done this. Yesterday, we could have waltzed together. But today, we cannot. Oh. Go ahead, Kat. Go get him. Get him. Get him. All right. Hi, OnlyFan. I am ready to rock.
Correct.
Did you draft that document that's represented as Exhibit WW?
I have drafted that over time, yes.
And when was the last time you viewed that document on your LinkedIn page?
I don't typically view the profile page, so it would have been, I could not tell you how long it's been.
Mini
Do you
Jesus.
have any reason to believe
Hi,
that
Tiny
Exhibit
Jesus.
WW is not on your LinkedIn page online as we sit here?
Tiny
I don't.
Mary.
Your Honor, I move Exhibit WW into evidence.
Oh, gotcha.
Bow, bow. Jesus, take the wheel.
Exhibit 186.
Putting it back in the boom, babes.
I would like to turn your attention to the printout of your personal LinkedIn page and go right to the second page, bottom. And under education, it says University of Alabama at Birmingham. It's got a little UAB.
Loveys, he has increased. The redness has creeped from the cheeks, okay? And I'm not talking about the cheeks that we clench, okay? I'm talking about buccal cheeks, okay? Swab 'em, bitch. He is now full-blown forehead redness, okay? He is tippity top of the head. Don't show me like that, you little unicorn, because I see what's going on there, okay? I can see behind that little patch, that little soul patch for my unicorn, and I see red. Oh.
Acronym there, and it says Bachelor of Science, paren, B period, S period, comma, Applied Mathematics and Scientific Computation, 2016-2018. Do you see that, sir?
Yes, I do.
Oh.
That's not correct, is it?
No, it's not correct.
And you do not hold ABS in a Bachelor of Science in Applied Mathematics and Scientific Computation from the University of Alabama at Birmingham, do you?
I do not. And that would have been at that time an expected graduation date?
So it
What?
would be expected, you state.
Correct.
It would be another word for, another word currently pursuing? Is that similar to expecting?
Sure, that could be similar.
But you know how to put currently pursuing down, don't you, sir? Because you did it on the first few CVs, but you don't have it on your LinkedIn page. Am I correct?
Correct. That's probably because obviously that has not been updated in quite some time.
I'm palping.
And-
I'm palping.
You said you get notifications when people access your LinkedIn page, correct?
I get
Oh.
selective notifications when people view my LinkedIn page.
So you know people are looking at your
Yep. I've gotten a selective college degree. And I bet you wished you selected that you didn't take this case. Oh, sorry. That's rude. Sorry.
LinkedIn page. You know people are looking at your education. And you have down here 2016 to 2018. So that time period is 7 years old from 2018, yet you use the 2016 to 2018 on your LinkedIn page, correct?
Correct. With the caveat that my understanding is people look at your posts, not specifically the profile information.
Oh,
What?
so you believe you know apparently when people are looking at it and what they look at
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying generally.
generally,
Correct.
but you don't know who's looking at the education section on your LinkedIn page and relying upon what is represented here that you have.
Babe, that's the funniest shit I've ever heard in my entire life. He goes, they only look at my posts. No one's looking at my profile. Like, I'm sorry, my eye just twitched trying to get around that rationale. That was a wild ass statement, good sir. Shan man. The Shan man.
Have a Bachelor of Science in Applied Mathematics and Scientific Computation from the University of Alabama at Birmingham.
Not from the LinkedIn page. Yeah, just independently of the LinkedIn page, yes.
Mr. Shan man, bring me a dream. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, Mr. Alessi.
And as you sit here today, that page is still live on your LinkedIn, correct?
Correct.
Oh. Move those glasses.
So a key aspect of your credentials, whether or not you have obtained a Bachelor of Science, is incorrect in more than one document that I presented here today, correct?
No, I would not agree with that.
Well, it's incorrect in this one, correct?
Correct.
And the one previously to that, there's two documents that have you listed. This LinkedIn, may I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. So there's two documents, is there not, sir?
Oh.
There's, may I?
Sure.
Mr. Scam man, bring me a dream. Bum, 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 bum.
Or if I could have the previous LinkedIn evidence? So if you could hold that, this one, sir, and I'm going to get that if I could from you. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And
Oh.
exhibit 185, that's in evidence, if you can turn to the second page.
Babes, he wore a blue checkered tie.
So if you look at
I almost
each-
feel bad
each of
again.
those state that you have a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics and Business Administration. So there are two.
Mr. Alessi just standing over him and reading it. Stop it. I am unwell. I cannot handle this, guys. Are we out of our fucking minds? Have you left your bodies? Are you spinning on the rings of Saturn currently? Holding up a two-spot of fingers, looking at the jury and saying, now we got two. Ooh.
Two documents about your credentials that are inaccurate, correct?
Yes, that have errors. Yes, that is correct.
May I have those back, sir?
Yeah, both.
Yes, please.
Yes, there you go.
Thank you.
Oh, it's a rough day. Someone's doing
Put your
deep
arm-
breathing.
Yes.
Lamaze.
I have the next document, Mark, for identification only at this point. You have this marked as the next for identification.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, another one. Another identifier. TS Token says, Alessi bringing a Texas barbecue to the CW. Man Shannon will be looking for work soon to pay for the exemplar car. Man Shannon just killed his fraudulent career. Oh, poor guy. And we have, oh my gosh, loveys, what did I do here? Oh, I love you guys. Thank you so much. Smartest and prettiest, says Mike. Kelly, if Chloe bit, you must acquit. I'm obsessed with you.
XX for you.
And I did have something in my pocket for John.
Handing the witness exhibit
Thank you,
XX for
Femina.
identification.
I love your name.
Do you recognize that document, sir?
Oh,
So it appears to be a CV, yes.
court, I'll check my email.
You say it appears to be a
Right
CV. Can
after.
you describe that any further?
Yes, so it's a copy of my CV.
Oh,
Is that a CV you prepared,
of
sir?
course it is.
It would have been prepared by myself or Aperture, yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the end.
Sorry, it would have been prepared by myself or Aperture, yes.
Yourself or Aperture?
Correct.
But you had, at a minimum, a role in preparing that, did you not?
More than likely, yes.
Yeah.
Are you telling me your company? Are you telling me HR just forged or not forged, fudged your actual qualifications? Stop it. Shan man, you know better than that.
And you would have reviewed that because it's about you before it would have been used by Aperture, correct?
More than likely, yes.
You wouldn't let somebody put a CV up and out to the public without you reviewing it, would you, sir?
So there are other staff members that do review and update CVs.
But you're the only one who's going to know whether what's on it is accurate or not, correct?
Unless I explain that to them, yes.
So either way, either you prepared it yourself or you interacted with somebody and explained it and collaborated with them to make sure it was right to the best of your ability, correct?
Correct.
If you can look at the highlighted portion, sir, under education.
There's no, I understand
sorry.
what you're talking about. There's no highlighted.
I'm sorry, let's strike that. If you look under education, the first line, it says in the right underneath BGS. Do you see that, sir?
I do, yes.
And then to the right, it says Bachelor of General Science in Mathematics and Business Administration, University of Alabama - Birmingham, Alabama, 2022. Did I read that correct?
Yes, you did.
Oh,
And up in the upper left-hand corner, there's a photograph.
Yes, there is.
Is that you, sir, in the photograph?
Yes, it is.
And in the spelling of your name, Shannon, that's with one N, correct?
Correct, yes.
And so that is not only you in the photograph, that's the spelling of your name with one N, correct?
Correct.
And that's the correct spelling of your first name with one N, correct?
Yes, it
So
is.
that's definitely you represented in this document, correct?
Yes.
oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Alessi, the shade. Are you reading him for filth? Is this the Real Housewives of Canton? What are we doing? Okay? Because if we're measuring brains right now, I'll tell you who's bigger.
Yes, that is correct.
Now let's look at the first line that relates to education. It states Bachelors of General Science in Mathematics and Business Administration, correct?
That is what it states, yes.
And the date is 2022, correct?
Correct.
So this document represents that you received your Bachelor's of General Science in Mathematics and Business Administration in 2022, correct?
That is what it states, but there are a number of errors in that, yes.
Correct. So let's go on. So this is the third example. Am I correct, sir? Well, let me, may I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, I offer Exhibit XX into evidence. No objection.
Okay. Is it 187?
Sir, is Exhibit 187 a CV that is linked directly from Aperture's website?
No.
I do not know. I would have to look and check that.
So as you sit here today, you are not able to state whether that CV is linked directly from Aperture's website.
Correct.
He's like, I would like to fact check the fact checker, please. Oh.
So this is a third example of a document that incorrectly states that you have a Bachelor of Science when you do not possess that degree, correct?
It has errors or outdated information, correct.
Well,
Oh.
when you say outdated, how is it that you can call a date outdated next to something that you don't possess?
I don't understand your question.
Well, you just use the phrase either incorrect or outdated. I'm trying to understand your statement that it's
Sure. So
outdated. Isn't it either you have a Bachelor of Science degree or you don't? Is it?
I have represented I do not have a bachelor's
Okay,
degree.
that's it.
But in
We
here,
believe
it's
now, I
represented that you
believe.
do, correct?
Yes, it is
All
an
right.
error, yes.
So are you, let's look at what the name is that are on these documents. It says Bachelor of General Science in Mathematics and Business Administration. Do you see that, sir?
I do.
Are you aware that there's no degree at the University of Alabama, Birmingham, called a Bachelor of General Science in Mathematics and Business Administration?
Yes, I am. And that is one of the errors I've identified.
So you would agree that there's not even a degree called Bachelor of General Science in Mathematics and Business Administration offered at the University of Alabama, correct?
Correct. That should be Bachelor of General Studies with minor.
Okay. All right, babes. Hi. This is the part of the programming where I officially got I got the ick, or I got like the secondhand embarrassment so bad, like similar to the first time I heard Big Neck Daddy Higgins text messages. Okay. This is when I was like, oh, I'm going to start dry heaving. I am uncomfy. You are uncomfy. I have to start doing laps, bitch. Okay. I can't contain the energy. Okay. I'm having a symbiotic reaction in my own body that is unparalleled. I don't know is it me? Am I attached to Robert Alessi? Are we taking him down together? I don't know, but it was fucking electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie.
In Mathematics and Business Administration.
And what you just articulated, you do not possess, as you sit here today, correct?
That is correct.
What you possess is an associate's degree, correct?
Correct.
And when did you obtain that associate's degree?
So that would have been 2015.
Babes, I just want to let you know that those numbers don't really make sense, right? If he obtained his associates in 2015, that means he's been doing this work, right? His forensic incident logging and reporting and work since 2015. That's 10 years, right? It's 2025. Awesome. You got a decade in. But for you to say you went to the university to get a degree that is not a degree, that you're admitting now that actually isn't even a course offered at the college you said you fucking went to. Somebody in the chat, I love you, babe. You wrote, well, everyone lies on their resume. Not me. Not the fuck me. Okay. Want to tell you why, loveys. Let me give you a quick little story. If it wasn't for bad luck, I'd have none at all. Okay. You think I want to get caught? All your friends could do it. They won't get in trouble. I'm getting caught. Maybe it's Catholic guilt. I don't know what it is. Tiny Jesus watches me. I'm not writing shit that I would never write something that couldn't be 100% verified. I did one time stretch the truth and said Courtney was my supervisor when she was really just a colleague. But, you know, it was just because Brenda was a bitch. But neither here nor there. I still would have, everything else is correct. Times, receipts, proof, timeline, all of it. I would be too afraid.
Are you familiar with the term mendacity?
I am not.
Oh, sorry, they didn't teach you that in Alabama. All right, babes. Well, guess what? I said that today was brought to you by the word mendacity. That's what I posted. Where did I post it? On the Twitter. And I'm gonna do a little sentence because I did a sentence earlier. No one cares. Kim, just get back to the fucking testimony. Yes, just let me mendacity us, okay? Day 18 of KarenRead trial was brought to us by the mendacity of it all. Oxford Dictionary noun, untruthfulness, lying. In an example, in a sentence. Man Shannon was publicly castigated for past mendacity. That's it.
Are you familiar with a CV of 2015?
No, I'm not.
No.
Yes.
Thank you, Lindsay, for becoming a consensual member at this shit show.
Your Honor, may I have this marked as the next exhibit for identification, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Love you, Val.
Why, Wendy?
Thank you.
Do you recognize that document, sir?
No, I do not recognize this document.
Yay, me. Thank you, Glenn.
Yeah, put your hand.
Yes.
Glenn's doling out non-consensual nurse Kim memberships.
Do you
No one likes
ever
it.
pursuing? I mean, may I stand here and ask some questions, Your Honor?
Okay.
Thank you,
Can you
T.S.
see the
Token.
document as well, or do you have a copy form?
He can see
Oh,
it as
thank
well,
you
Your
for
Honor.
becoming a
Just
member.
read it.
Black bottom shoe makes the world go round.
Sir, do you recall when you started pursuing a Bachelor of Science degree of any kind?
Sure, I do. Around 2008.
So you started
Oh.
pursuing a Bachelor of Science for the first time in 2008, correct?
Correct.
If I did the math correctly, sir, you've been pursuing a Bachelor of Science degree for 17 years, correct?
That is correct.
And you have not obtained it as you sit here today.
That is correct.
And yet there are the various documents that we've seen that state that you have obtained.
Oh,
obtained a Bachelor
please.
of Science, correct?
Again, with errors or misinterpretation. Yes.
No errors or misinterpretation. Isn't this just the consequences of our own actions? Oh my. Wanted to bring us to a little bit of a clip just for a small amount of joy coming to us in the form of
I know something's weird, and now I know it. That's why your whole jug is out. I understand. I thought this was happening. Y'all are running game.
Her jugs are just out because this is what they normally are doing.
Yuck. Yuck, Jesse. What y'all are doing right now is gross.
Tell us more, Mr.
Errors or
Alessi.
misinterpretation that are you stating, but you would agree those errors or misinterpretation have been in existence for some time, correct?
Yes, I'm being made aware of them now. Yes.
Yeah, and they haven't been corrected for some time, correct?
Correct.
Joanna,
You work
totally
for
agree.
insurance companies, correct?
I do work
Oh.
for insurance companies in addition to law firms. Yes.
But you work for insurance
Watching.
companies, correct?
Yes, sometimes. Yes.
Well, you state that right in your report in this case, don't you, sir? That you work for insurance companies?
Again, I do work for insurance companies. Yes.
Oh,
And what role do you play in working for insurance companies? You working for them, or are you working for the policyholders that have paid premiums or are making a claim to try to get money from an insurance company? Which role?
thanks
do
for
you have?
joining, Joe.
I'll allow that.
Oh, she will
So I work
allow
for the
it.
insurance company themselves.
And in your work for the insurance company, has any of that work
I do
related to
remember.
denying claims to insurance?
Why don't I see you on this, Mr. Leslie?
Sure.
Oh, why don't I see you on this, babes? Michelle Conley, thank you so much. Lovey says, exactly, Nurse Kim. I knew it was coming. I was doing pirouettes for KR in the defense because they asked for a voir dire. I thought of you, Nurse Kim. I checked your account for your reaction. Babe, we're here together. It's a late night. I am unhinged at this point, okay? You put me on the double dose of Alessi assassinations. I go on with Vinny. I see VP tonight, Vinny Politan, my paisan. All right, we have a moment, we share something. No, we don't. And now I'm watching it again with you because thank you for being my best friends from out of town. I love your face.
May I, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh,
Are you familiar with the phrase academic dishonesty?
Yes, I am.
Oh, I'm just going to leave that there. Did you hear what he did? Oh, I'm sorry, babes. Did you catch that? Did you feel that? Did your butthole just pucker for dear life? Did you think, oh, wow, right? That's exactly where Mr. Alessi just left that hanging in the room. Academic dishonesty. If you're academically dishonest, I wonder if your work and you're experimentally dishonest. All right? Lying is a spectrum and you are bi. I don't think that makes sense, but you know what I'm saying. Sorry, it's late. I'm tired, guys. I apologize.
Let's talk about your work on this case. In October of 2024, the Commonwealth hired you to perform a new data acquisition from the infotainment and telematics system of Ms. Reed's Lexus SUV, correct?
That is correct.
And in your October 10, 2024 report, you outlined a proposal for attempting to extract additional data from the telematics and infotainment modules, correct?
Correct. With the caveat, it's not a report. It is a proposed protocol.
Oh,
So we'll call it a proposal. In that proposal, you explain why
babe, Jess, how right are you? I need to know what baby James Jackson thought about today. I want to know everything. I need to know what Hank's petty paralegal, she must have lost her fucking mind. All right? You know what? They couldn't bang out the erasers tonight. All right? There was a lot of staplers having issues. They were refilling the staplers tonight real late, just angrily jotting things down on a legal pad.
In your opinion, you believed an additional data acquisition was necessary based on your words, education, training, and background, correct?
That is correct.
When compared to your proposal, you had
Watch your
access to the
ears,
manufacturing specifications of the chips in question, correct?
I did.
You were under no critical deadlines to get the work done, correct?
Correct.
In your initial October 10, 2024 report, you explained that you believe the data acquisition was incomplete because, in your opinion, based on your education, again, your words, training, and experience, the download of the acquisition was less than the
100,
chip's
Mike.
storage capacity, correct?
That is correct.
And converting megabytes, BYTES, to megabits, BITS, and gigabytes to gigabits is a basic digital forensic concept. And that concept's critical to successful data acquisition and analysis. Fair statement?
I would say that's a fair statement.
In your initial report, you stated that the December 2023 data acquisition was from the Spansion clip, SPANSION, from the infotainment model was incomplete because the acquisition was only 8 megabytes in size, even though the chip has a storage.
Babes, I gotta tell you something. Mr. Nurse Kim was like, he felt like he had a man boner. I mean, I don't even know, but like small chub, something was happening with him. Because I was like, when I have to damsel in distress and be like, babe, I don't know what a byte and a bit. That's not my jam. Okay. I can tell you an 18 gauge, a 22 gauge. I can talk to you all about wound care. I can tell you anything legal nurse consultant wise. I could talk to you about all the shit, but bytes and bits. All right. 8 mega gigawatts hertz, you know. Mr. Nurse Kim was like, oh yeah, well that clearly was the 64. And he was talking all this shit to me. I'm like, ew. But I was also like, that's hot. What are you doing? He was like, Mr. Alessi's right.
Storage capacity of 64 megabytes, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And that's your October 10, 2024 report, correct?
Protocol.
I'm sorry, what was it, proposal or protocol?
Protocol.
Protocol, we'll use protocol. And you blame this on the, quote, programmer's inability to fully read the component, close quote, correct?
Oh.
In point of fact, the manufacturing specifications establish that the total flash memory component of the chips in question is equal to 64 megabits.
Well, babe, if every man told us the correct inches, then we wouldn't have problems. You know what I'm saying? But maybe you'd think 5 bytes were in a 5 bits in a byte because it's not 8, you know? I don't know.
Not 64 megabytes, correct?
That is correct.
64 megabits is 8 megabytes, correct?
That is correct.
That means the Spansion chip was not incomplete, correct?
Correct.
The acquisition was the same data size as the total memory storage capacity of the chip, correct?
Correct.
Your protocol for data acquisition was based on a misunderstanding of megabits versus megabytes, correct?
It was based on a working theory and a misinterpretation, yes.
And that was your misinterpretation.
Okay. And this one I want to say just a little bit louder for the people in the back. Joe Capabianco, that wasn't about you. That wasn't about you, babe. But for the anti-KarenRead people, okay, who say there was nothing, they wanted to focus, Mr. Alessi only focused on his fraudulent education and representation to the court and or the Commonwealth, but they mentioned nothing about his testing. How about this? What do you fuckers have to say about this? Because you did a whole giggity, you know, chip off and you chipped Chip and Proctor and everybody. I don't know what the fuck is happening, but what I'm going to tell you is this. Nothing came of it. Everything that Maureen, not Maureen, all right, Miss Prisby or whoever the hell her name was, the broad who did it before, she got the exact same amount from the chip off. Nothing was unaccounted for. So the Commonwealth paid you for what? Stugats. Nothing. You are a shit on a shingle. Right? What are you? You are bringing about as much worth to this case, Manshan, as tits on a bull.
Interpretation.
Yes, it was.
You mentioned Ms. Gaffney in your direct
Ms.
testimony. Do you recall
Gaffney,
that, sir?
pardon me.
Yes, I do.
She successfully acquired 8 megabytes of data from that spanking chip during the December 2023 chip off, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And that wasn't your only conversion mistake in your October 10, 2024 report, was it?
I'm not aware of any others.
You stated in your report that the data acquisition of the Micron JWB57 was incomplete because the acquisition was only 540 MB in size, but the storage capacity was 4 GB. And that's stated in your October 10, 2024 report, correct?
Protocol. Yes,
Protocol.
correct.
The Micron JWB57 chip is 4 gigabits flash memory component, not a 4 gigabyte flash memory component, as you incorrectly stated in your protocol.
That is correct.
So contrary to your assertion in the report, 4 gigabits
Oh,
is equal to 50 megabytes, which suggests that all the available data was successfully retrieved from this chip during the first acquisition by Ms. Gaffney, correct?
Correct.
oh.
So Ms. Gaffney was not in error on that. She did not make a mistake on that, correct?
Not on that specific thing. Yes.
Right. It was you that simply misunderstood the difference between gigabits and gigabytes, correct?
Misinterpreted. I would not say misunderstood.
I would say I misinterpreted it. I would say that was your job. If you misinterpret like the basic shit, right? And guys, like, listen, again, shut the fuck up, Kim. You don't know shit about shit. But I think this is like not the advanced stuff, right? Correct me in the chat. Is this the advanced stuff? Because if you can't do addition and subtraction, I'm not hiring you for quantum physics. Right? I don't know.
You misinterpreted the difference between gigabits and gigabytes.
Correct.
You got that wrong in layperson's terms.
Oh.
Correct. I did make an error.
You stated in your report that Micron, and I'm going to have to give an alphanumeric number because I know in digital forensics it's important to be precise and accurate, so bear with me, sir. You stated in your report that the Micron 29F2G08 ABAEA is a 2 gigabyte chip, and that the acquisition should have been.
Carly, that's why you're right. I don't think he fully understands. And I think somebody else in the chat, sorry, Loveys, it's just going fast, that said, do you think that Hank is going to prep him tonight? Sure as shit he is. Okay. They might be getting submarine sandwiches at a local sub shop. Okay. Not a pizza shop, sub shop. And they might be getting a mediocre chicken palm and just talking through everything. He has no idea that Mr. Alessi is just warming up. I don't know if I can handle this tomorrow. Okay, guys, we're going to have to do, I am like, as soon as the clock strikes 6 p.m., we need to talk all the shit. Okay. I need to be done with work. I need to feed these kids, and we're going to need to wrap this up because I am already verklempt thinking about tomorrow. I have a heart rate that has to be at least 92 right now. Okay. I usually am sitting pretty at 72. I am the swing that I'm having is questionable. Okay.
2 gigabytes,
Oh,
but was incomplete because it was only
gigabytes.
264 MB in size, correct?
That is correct.
And the Micron, and I'm just going to refer back to the number to not repeat it, the long alphanumeric number is a 2 gigabit flash memory component, not a 2 gigabyte flash memory component, as you incorrectly stated in your protocol, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
So 2 gigabytes is equal to 250 megabytes, correct?
Correct.
And that suggests that all available data was successfully retrieved during the first acquisition by Ms. Gaffney, correct?
From those chips, yes.
From those chips.
Hi, everybody. This is a nurse's order. We're going to have to all close our office doors if you have one. If you don't, close something. Okay. We need to make sure that there is privacy for whatever is going to happen tomorrow morning. Be prepared. Put yourself in a cocoon.
I'm correct, right?
Yes.
Your opinion was again incorrect
Oh.
and was based on a misunderstanding of gigabits and gigabytes, correct?
A misinterpretation, correct.
A misinterpretation in layperson's terms. You got that wrong also.
It was an error, yes.
Did you have that?
GM, all 1.8 hours that he gets a night, he is sleeping like a baby tonight. He drank a glass of like vegan, almond milk, right? And he put himself to bed right now at 11:15. He is going to wake up at 1:40 a.m. and he is going to go run 10 miles. Okay. He's going to do it where? In a hotel on a treadmill. He is then going to have some sort of delicious coffee at 3 a.m. And he's going to be up for so many hours, at least 8 hours by the time he walks in to court tomorrow morning. He is prepared. He is our prince that is promised. He is Robert Alessi.
Protocol peer-reviewed, sir?
No, I did not.
Was it peer-reviewed by anybody at Aperture?
No, it was not.
Did you have a supervisor review that protocol before you filed it with the court?
No, sir.
You submitted your proposal based on your education, background, and experience, correct?
Correct.
Turns out that the entire foundation of your proposal was based on a fundamental misinterpretation of the difference between a computer bit and a computer byte, correct?
No, not the entire thing. No.
Well, certainly a part of it was, correct, sir?
Correct. Partial.
You got conversions wrong with respect to analyzing 3 different bits, correct?
Correct.
And since you wrote that, have you learned the difference between a bit and a byte?
I've always known the difference between a bit and a byte. Yes.
You learned that in this case from reading the affidavit of an expert for the defense who pointed out those errors before you submitted your supplemental report. Isn't that correct?
I would have to go back and look at the timing on that. I believe I submitted the supplemental before the protocol from the other expert.
Are you certain of that?
I'm not certain of that.
Nope, he's not certain of anything. He has no idea, Mr. Alessi. You got him. Yes, sir. No, maybe not. Couldn't tell you.
Isn't it the case that the expert for the defense submitted his affidavit before you submitted your supplemental report? Objection.
Do you know that?
I do not know that.
You don't know one way or another.
Correct.
Couldn't tell you.
And that person that I referred to for the defense is Matthew DeSogra. You know that name?
I do.
And you have read Mr. DeSogra's affidavit in this case, have you not, sir?
It's up,
Yes.
bitches.
And you would agree that he pointed out these misinterpretations of yours in his affidavit, correct?
Correct.
I can't.
I would like to go back to your January 30th, 2025 report.
It was at this moment that his glasses began to fog, loveys.
You have a moment, Your Honor, please?
You had
Thank you.
gas like you couldn't believe. Ready? We're going to cook right up here. And we're going to get back to going. Ready? On your
Having
mark.
reviewed Trooper Garino's testimony,
Oh.
you therefore are aware of the theory that he proposed in the first proceeding, correct? It was in his testimony? Objection.
I'll allow that.
I'm not. So specifically, I reviewed Trooper Garino's testimony for information related to the infotainment and telematics modules.
So did you read all of the testimony?
No, I would have skimmed it.
You would have skimmed the testimony?
Correct.
And how would you, and what
For
would
your
the purpose of just skimming?
scientific testing?
Sure. So I'm only interested in the information related to the infotainment and telematics modules.
So you just, I want to make sure I have this right. So you would skim it, you would look for what you want to focus on, and you, as you sit here today, you don't have any recollection of what the theory of the Commonwealth was in the first proceeding?
Not from that testimony, no.
Do you recall Trooper Garino as part of what you reviewed? So you reviewed certain things of Trooper Garino in his testimony, correct?
Correct.
And in your direct testimony, you testified extensively about the iPhone of John O'Keefe, correct?
Correct.
And you looked at and testified about a lot of information from the phone of John O'Keefe. Is that a fair statement?
Location data.
Location data.
Babes, he skimmed through Trooper Garino's information, including Officer John O'Keefe's location data. That is 100% what the Commonwealth needs in order to correlate KarenRead making the bullshit alleged 3-point turn, garbage in, garbage out, like junk science, and the backup. It all has to correlate between the alleged Lexus clock, which was on from 12:12:36 on and off at 12:42:08. and somehow, like, Tutankhamun fucking aligns it within 29 seconds. I do not understand that at all. But if he told us with his own mouth that he skimmed the testimony that included all of that information from Guarino. Oh, my jurors. Did you hear that? Hello? Loveys. Bits up. We gotta put this one to bed.
Did you read, therefore, Trooper Guarino's claim that the last...
So why don't I see it sidebar? Find out what
Sure.
She's like, stop the hemorrhaginos.
December 7th.
Correct.
And that was December 7th of 2024.
Correct.
Oh.
You conducted this same testing on an exemplar vehicle. And to be clear, exemplar was a vehicle that Aperture had purchased.
Yes, that is a vehicle that Aperture has purchased.
So Aperture purchased it. And it's a vehicle, as I understand, you testified, that's similar to the vehicle of Miss Reed, correct?
Correct.
And so you call it an exemplar because it's similar to the vehicle in question, correct?
Correct. Correct.
So I'm going to continue using your parlance of exemplar vehicle.
Sure.
And so you conducted this same testing on the exemplar vehicle and successfully reinstalled and tested the infotainment and telematics systems for an in-vehicle unlock and acquisition, correct?
For an in-vehicle acquisition, not for an unlock.
Okay, so for just an in-vehicle acquisition.
Correct.
I appreciate the correction, sir. But in this case, with Miss Reed's actual Lexus, you were unable to successfully reinstall and test the infotainment and telematics systems, correct?
Correct.
On Miss Reed's Lexus, you were able to get the infotainment backlight and faceplate to illuminate, but in your own words, the infotainment system did not respond as expected, correct?
Correct.
So instead, you took the micro SD card itself and attempted to retrieve data from that card directly, correct?
Correct.
Lexus locks cards in its system, correct?
It does, yes.
If Lexus thought it was appropriate to access those cards, do you know whether or not they would have them unlocked? You know.
I do not know.
Now, in the
If you don't know, now you know.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
going to let the answers.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm going to cover a basic question. Do you have any citation to any scientific literature where specifically what you did on this Lexus model has ever done before? Has it ever been done before?
No, not on this specific model, which is why we did the exemplar testing.
Right. So there's no scientific literature that states that the methodology that you used with this Lexus model is an appropriate methodology at all, correct?
There's literature that addresses the methodology in other ways, but not specific to this Lexus, correct?
There's no literature at all stating that the methodology that you used for this Lexus is the appropriate methodology to use for this Lexus model, correct?
There's no literature about this appropriate Lexus model, correct?
I am
Talk about your
unwell.
initial report of January 30th of 2025. You issued your initial analysis and report on January 30th, 2025, correct?
Correct.
Your report included a general timeline analysis. You used that phrase, timeline analysis, that you stated could impact, quote, event reconstruction. Do I have that right? Your January 30th, 2025 report does not discuss a collision, does it?
No, not in my report, no.
As a matter of fact, your January 30th, 2025 report doesn't even use the word collision, does it?
Correct, because I'm looking at data from the infotainment and telematics module.
But the report of January 30th, 2025 does not even contain the word collision in it, correct?
I believe it does in the background portion, which would be on page 2 or 3, which would just be restating the, if you mind, if I can look at my report?
Oh, please.
Sure. Go ahead.
Check it out, man, Shannon, because this is painful. This is painful to watch. It's painful for us all to watch again.
No, so I apologize. The word that was used was incident.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
correct.
exactly
But you don't
what it
use the
was.
word collision at all in your
Oh.
January 30th, 2025 report.
That is correct.
I appreciate you checking that, sir. Also, and please keep your report handy, your January 30th, 2025 report does not in any way detail the timing of what you now call a text stream event at all, correct?
No, it does not.
So in your January 30th, 2025 report, you refer to it as an incident, and in your May 8th report, you refer to it as a text stream event, correct?
That would be referring to two different things.
Right. But did you use the parlance text stream event at all in your January 30th, 2025 report?
No, I did not.
But you're using it now, correct?
Correct.
And we're talking about the same event, right?
Correct.
In fact, your analysis and conclusions were limited in your January 30th, 2025 report to generally identifying a clock skew between Mr. O'Keefe's phone and Ms. Reed's infotainment system, correct?
That is correct.
On January 30th, 2025, you engaged in no
Watch your
further
ears,
analysis to determine whether precisely the 1162.2 text stream event that you now call it occurred, correct?
Correct.
Why not?
I was not asked to at that time. I was just asked to look at the general timeline and consistency of the timestamps.
So,
Babes, and when Shannon brought it back to a timeline, I lost my shit. Right? Because at the end of the day, who else made a timeline? Oh, one Jennifer McCabe and Kerry Roberts. And now we're back to another timeline and more fuckery afoot. And now adding new information from your other contemporaries that you guys were not supposed to be incommunicado with one another. And now, we have Shan just going above and beyond, teachers petting, if you will. And then we come to find out that I don't think there was copy and pasting in the verbiage in which we hear next. Let me get there, because that was big doings.
you did delve into that, and pretty heavily, in your May 8th report, correct?
Correct.
May 8th.
And you delved into that pretty heavily in the middle of this trial, correct?
Correct.
So after the trial, you know the trial started around April 22nd in this case? Generally?
Yes, generally.
So let's do the timeline on this.
Yes.
January 30th, 2025, you prepare your initial report, correct?
Correct.
In that initial report, you mentioned nothing about text stream event 1162.1, correct?
Correct.
In that report, you mentioned nothing about text stream event 1162.2, correct?
Correct.
The trial starts April 22nd, correct?
Correct. Generally.
No, the trial in this case, trial, about April 22nd. After the trial starts and after witnesses, of course, are appearing, you prepare another report, correct?
Correct.
And that's your May 8th report.
Correct.
Right in the middle of this trial.
Correct.
This feels aggressive.
And right in the middle of this trial, you enlarge the number for the 21 to 29 range. That's bigger than what was in your first report, correct?
No, that is not correct.
Well, you changed the number, don't you?
No, I did not change the number.
Well, let's go back to see exactly what you did, sir.
Sure.
Let's start with the basics. You said on direct examination, sir, that you prepared your May 8th report on your own initiative. Those
Here
were
it
the words
is.
on your direct testimony, correct?
Here
Correct.
it is. Get ready to clutch, loveys.
I'm going to read the first line of your May 8th, 2025 report.
Okay.
If you have it in front of you, sir.
I do, yes.
It starts, Dear Mr. Brennan. You see
Get
that?
out the bedpan.
Yes, I do.
Pursuant to your request. That's a request you're referring to of Mr. Brennan, correct?
Correct.
I have completed an additional analysis concerning the above referenced matter. To formulate opinions, the following additional items were reviewed. This wasn't done on your initiative. You put in writing you did it at the request of Mr. Brennan. Which is it?
So that was on my own initiative. This is a holdover, so a copy and paste from my original report.
Lies.
You're
Lies. I tell you.
explaining the May 8th report in your language pursuant to your request as a cut and paste from a previous report?
Yes, I am.
Do you cut and paste important information from one report to the other without checking it for accuracy?
I copy and paste certain portions.
Do you ever review what you cut and paste to see if
Like-
it's accurate?
Yes.
The first
You didn't
line.
review it this time, though, did you, sir?
No, I did not think it was significant.
Oh, you don't think it's significant, sir, that the matter is in the middle of a trial and there's a request for a new report after testimonies occurred in that trial? You don't think that's important? Objection. Oh.
Finish him.
Why did you prepare the new report then?
Why?
Sure. So there was a claim from a PowerPoint presentation by Mr. DeSogra of trying to adjust clock syncs or making clock adjustments based on the synchronization of certain events. That was produced in March. Upon reviewing that, my initial thoughts were to address that in testimony. But as I was preparing for trial, I made the decision that it needed to be better addressed in a supplemental report.
But you understand that the report that you're referring to, that's the report of Mr. Soger, correct?
It is a presentation of Mr. DeSogra.
It's a presentation. You understand his presentation merely was responding to the work that you did, correct?
No, that's not correct.
So your belief is that Mr. DeSoger's report didn't address at all what you had done?
Partially, yes, but no.
Okay, but let's cover the basics. You agree that Mr.
I'm sorry. This man, Shan, is sitting here just praying, okay? Just wishing. He has the bubble gut so bad. He knows immediately upon leaving this courtroom that explosive diarrhea is coming. You know what I'm saying? You ever been so nervous you shit like immediately? And it's not solid. That's him. Nothing is solid right now. He's like, yes, it did, but didn't. I do, but no. Yes, no. Hi.
Mr. DeSogra addressed, at least in part, the work that you had done.
He tried to address, yes.
Right. So do you know the date of Mr. DeSogra's report as March 5th? Does that sound right to you?
Yes, that's what
So
I said.
you had Mr. DeSogra's report that you claim was the basis for you on your own in the middle of this trial, creating and submitting a new report. You claim that the basis for that was Mr. DeSogra's report of March 5th of 2025.
That is correct.
You waited 2
Oh.
months to do that.
Again, my initial thoughts were to address it on testimony.
I've got to go.
Just let him finish.
What is happening?
My question, sir, and finish it how you like.
Sure. So
2 months, was it 2 months between March 5th and when you submitted your report on May 8th? Was that 2 months?
yes, it is.
So
You waited.
did you know when this trial was going to start, sir? Generally?
Yes.
You know what that is? I don't know about you guys, okay? But this isn't a landing strip. This feels like ambush to me. Okay? If you had DeSober's fucking report in March, in the beginning of March, and your little skank ass, my tiny unicorn, I had compassion for you. And you just sat on that. And then you go, here, Hank. First fucking line in your email is per your request. Here is my new findings. That is a response from a March report. On your mark, get set. I got something in my pocket for you, man, Shan. Mr. Alessi. All right, this is my scissor hands. Kimmy scissor hands. Fucking go fuck a goat. Sorry.
Do you think it's fair to submit a report without anybody asking you in the middle of a trial?
Yes. Sustain.
As we've been discussing, you issued a brand new report, in this case dated May 8th, 2025, correct?
Correct.
That changed your analysis, correct?
No, it did not change my analysis.
Were there changes to your analysis in it?
Oh.
There were clarifications.
Clarifications.
Correct.
Let's address that. In your January 30th, 2025 report, you did not mention text stream event at all, did you?
No, I did not.
And you didn't mention collision at all, correct?
Stop it.
No, I did not.
And you mentioned both of those now in your May 8th, 2025 report, correct?
I don't know if I've mentioned collision.
We're gonna
I've
go
got my
to
report.
court.
Look.
But you certainly do mention text stream events, correct?
Yes, that's
and
correct.
you label them 1162.1 and 1162.2, correct?
Correct.
That's a change from your first report, isn't it, sir?
No, it's not a change. It's
Oh,
a
yeah,
supplement.
it is.
Oh,
It's a
so
supplement.
your definition is that when you add something to a report, it's not a change, it's a supplement?
That is what it is. Yes.
That feels illegal.
Who did you speak to
Oh,
regarding the May 8th, 2025 report before you prepared?
And no one before I prepared it.
So you just prepared it on your own.
I did.
Did you have any communications at all? I asked you who you spoke with, but did you have any communications at all with either Detective Lieutenant Tully or Buchanan?
So I did reach out to Tully to get a full set of the location data. Yes.
And I need to say it, babes. We just needed to get here. I have to tell you, listen. Get your gut check ready. You are my best friends from out of town. I fucking love you. Who does it all go back to? Who's our little fucking the guy from what is that movie that I can't stand all the time that he looks like Hellraiser? Tully. Tully is Hellraiser. He's raising hell. Him and Berkey. And I'm telling you right the fuck now. He has had his hands in the cookie jar the entire time. He was at Canton Police Department when listen, when her vehicle was back at Canton Police Department, he was over at the CERT team. He found taillight. He is just a bit of a fucker. And I'm telling you that his rehoming needs to be looked into. I want to know all the shits because Tully, your signature is on all of it. You were the one who gave the okay for Karen's car to go back to Canton PD. You were planting seeds and possibly taillight since January 29th, 2022. He is the Jennifer McCabe of Mass State Police. I said it.
So you reached out to Detective Tully before you prepared your May 8th report, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Did he tell you that the trial had started in this case?
No, not during that conversation, no.
Of course he didn't.
That's not the first communication you had with Detective Tully, was it?
No, it's not.
How many conversations have you had with
The
Detective
fuck are
Tully?
you talking to
I
Tully
would say a
for?
handful.
How much is a handful?
I would be speculating, but we'll say 5 to 10.
5 to 10.
Sure.
Is Detective Tully expert at all in digital forensics?
No.
But you've had 5 to 10 conversations with him.
Correct. To get provided information.
To get provided information.
John Ralphio?
At any time, has anybody from the Commonwealth had a discussion with you relative to your January 30th, 2025 report or your May 8th, 2025 report about keeping flexible the timelines for any events in this case?
No, sir.
Mm.
Did you have any discussions at all regarding the May 8th, 2025 report you prepared in the middle of this trial with anyone from the district attorney's office?
Yes.
When did you have those discussions?
That would have been on, probably May 7th when I reached out to Mr. Brennan.
So you reached out to Mr. Brennan on May 7th, 2025, correct?
Correct.
That's before May 8th of 2025, correct?
Correct.
So
And do you remember, Loveys, just a little, just to remind you that Hank Brennan told the court and misrepresented facts yet again in front of Beverly Cannoni yesterday when he said, we were so surprised. We weren't expecting this. Remember? We didn't ask for this. We weren't expecting this. And in the first 2 hours of cross-examination by Alicia Scissorhands, okay, we learn that Shan was doing a solid for Hank Brennan, that he was incommunicado with Tully for apparently no reason, clearly not for haircut recommendations. And we learn that all the information that they needed to rebut was available in March. This is not a drill, Loveys. This was 100% an ambush on the defense. Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Special Prosecutor Hank Brennan, you should be fucking ashamed of yourselves. You are clowns. You are a laughingstock. And if the jury sees what the fuck you've done, you have no chance in hell. Okay? And I mean that from the bottom of my soul. KarenRead will be acquitted because of your fucking treachery.
before you sent that report in, you had a discussion with Mr. Brennan about it. Am I correct?
Correct.
What was that discussion about?
That was just a discussion over the data and what the report said.
So you were discussing with Mr. Brennan what was going to be in your report, including data and analysis, correct?
Correct.
Did you tell Mr. Brennan that you were going to be submitting the report shortly to him on May 8th?
Yes.
Did you agree to a time when you would submit that report?
No, I did not.
Did you tell him when you were going to submit it?
No, I did not.
But after the conversation on May 7th, you discussed with him that you had either pretty close to finalizing the report. It's a pretty extensive report, right?
Correct.
So on May 7th, you were pretty well along the way in that report, correct?
Correct.
Did you let Mr. Brennan know them?
Yes.
Mediocre Chicken Palm says Kim needs a gummy. That is so probably true. I just can't because I have anxiety and it makes me anxious to think about gummies. But what I will say is this: is usually I try to find the parts in which I can, bring to us and we can watch it together and live our lives and try to get through everything every day. But babes, at the end of the day, this is the life of Officer John O'Keefe that was lost, right? And Karen is fighting for her life a second time against this fucking Commonwealth. And for Mr. Alessi to lay it out the way that he did, it is so upsetting to me. And I know damn right well, everyone's like, oh, mistrial, oh, this or that. Nothing's gonna fucking come of this. Nothing. So what the defense needs to continue to do is keep doing what the fuck they're doing. And we need to keep doing what the fuck we're doing. And it's showing up every day, watching, learning, listening, being alert. We're alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. Woo! Right? Show the fuck up. Because if it can happen to Karen, it can happen to any of us. And she needs us in her corner right now because this has been so unbelievably corrupt and so fucked up that it was allowed to continue to move forward time and time again. And I thank you every day, every single one of you for just being like, hey, Kim, I tuned in. You're fucking crazy. Or like, hey, I told my cousin about this. I love you. I thank you. Karen loves you. She appreciates you. Her family, Mr. and Mrs. Reed, the O'Keefes will, I pray for them all the time. They probably don't want my prayers, but, I want justice for Officer John O'Keefe, and he lost his life. He should be here. And the way in which they have gone, the Commonwealth has gone around this, guys, is unforgivable. Unfor-fucking-givable. And as a girl who grew up with mass cops in my family, this hurts me. This deeply fucking impacts my, I don't know. I have weirdo shit that I'm like, wait, I have good ones though, right? I have good cops. And it just makes me pronouncedly very saddened for everyone involved.
So he knew the nature of the report. He knew how far along we were with it.
Correct.
Did you have any other calls with anybody from the prosecution's office other than that about your May 8th report?
No, I don't believe so.
Do you have any texts with anybody about your May 8th report?
No.
Did you communicate with anybody else about your upcoming May 8th report?
No, I would have provided a copy to Dr. Welcher.
Your colleague?
Correct.
So Dr. Welcher knew you were working on this report, correct?
Yeah.
And then he just goes into loveys. The last thing is, which I know that Mr. Alessi is going to start with in the morning. He always does because he has to refresh everyone. And we'll just watch him get off the stand. And that seat was a hot
that you
mess.
Considered in responding to Mr. DeSogra, correct?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. He's thinking to himself, I'd like to run away.
3216, which is after 12/31/43.
Yes.
And you know that.
Yes, with the caveat, those clocks have not been adjusted.
But you know that there was a end of health event of 36 steps covering a distance of 84 feet that ended at 12/32/16, which is after 12/31/43, correct?
Correct.
Just stating the comparison. So now what I'd like to do is to
Love you, Cindy.
with regard to the analysis. So, and Dr. Welcher wrote the slide he presented and stated January 30th of 2025, correct?
It's not dated here.
It's not dated.
Yes.
Do you know that Dr. Welcher created a report of January 30th, 2025?
I do know he.
Yeah. Oh my God, this poor guy. He's like, yeah. Judge Cannoni is done. Amen, T.S. Look at that. That was a zone out. That was a thought of life. That was a question of your existence. Judge Cannoni does only want to be knee deep in clams on Friday at 1 p.m. It's okay. Is it? Maybe it's not. Sidebar. Ooh.
So see you tomorrow.
Oh, I'll see you tomorrow. That was it. That was it. Loveys, we fast, we furious. We really didn't because it was still an hour and 45 minutes. Why? Because I'm a big mouth bitch. But I love you. I thank you for being here. Come closer. Deep breaths. All right. Don't have anxiety. Everything is fine. Try to unwind. Okay. Make just a tiny bit of like warm milk. All right. Maybe a little hot cocoa. I don't know. Get crazy tonight. Right. Marshmallows. Shut up. And lay down, watch mindless television for 25 minutes. I recommend Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Trash. Incredible. Riveting, if you will. Okay. So close your eyes. And tomorrow we wake up, we do it again. Mr. Alessi on day 20 will be slaying the dragon. Okay. And I will be here with you. It'll be you and me, babes. And we will do it like between 6 and 7 if you're into it. If not, I get it. But I love you so much. Have a great night. Bye, guys.